What's going on? This is Cooper Anderson with Creating the Sound, and tonight we are going to take a look at Dylan's new snare of the day, which is the Tame Impala reference. Eventually, I'm going to pull that up right now and we can take a look. So this is the Ludwig 6.5 by 14 Super Brass. The reference has this really like kind of punchy, almost hip hop snare. There's a little bit of width to it, and the hi-hats, it's just very like hip hop kind of sample-y sort of sound. So anyway, I'm gonna take a listen to what Dylan has, and we will see what we can do to quickly, in just a few minutes, make it into something that sounds similar to the Tame Impala reference. So let's check it out. All right. So I am going to just play what he had first, just to start. Already I can hear this snare, at least on this mix, is like a lot looser and that sort of thing. So we're going to need to kind of tighten that up, maybe make it a little punchier, a little more aggressive sounding. And I think there may have just been a lot of like room sound on this one. I'm not really sure. So let's go through the stems. I made it just be the subgroups showing, so we can pull it up and down the faders real quick on the control surface. So anyway, I'm going to start with the kick and just mix that in really quickly so we can focus on the snare. I think that's going to be the most important part of this mix, especially since it's the snare of the day. Alright, so kick. Yeah, so the kick has a lot of bleed in it. Let's see what mics we have. We got the usual in and out and low freak, but that's actually not in this mix. Okay, so that one, the kick in, is a bunch of like snap. That has more of the lower mids and the body. I'm going to try mixing in some of the low frequency too. The low freak sub kick. Turn my headphones up so I don't overload my master. Let's throw the drum gate on here. Yeah, it sounds good on the in. Let's put it on the out mic. Could probably put a little more decay on this one. We do get that snare bleed, but that's okay. This one, I think we should filter out even more of that top end. Let's actually copy this drum gate with the shorter decay. So that's just boom right now. I think that'll be cool once we blend it in a little better. Let's hear the snare. Okay, so this snare has that nice, like, kind of punchy, sharp decay happening. Definitely got a lot of bleed from the hi-hat in there. So this is the snare top, the snare bottom. I'm sorry, this is the snare bottom. We can bring up a little more of that. Give it some more crispiness. I think overall it's going to need a little saturation and width. So I was actually going to pull up Mixing Night Audio Greenhouse from our good friend Ken Lewis. So let's see what this does to our snare. I'm going to disable the modulation section for a second. I do like already the width that put on it, but I wanted to get some more like upper punchy saturation. So let's try. That's nice. That gives it more on the top end. Let's try the different modes of saturation. That's too dark. I do like this infrared. Okay, so let's bring in this stuff again. Seeing if any of these modulations help. So far I'm not really liking them. Maybe the Lily. It's pretty subtle. Here's without the greenhouse. Here's with it back on. So that's not bad. Let's add some hi-hat in. So the hi-hat was a lot like, I don't know, when I first heard the reference, I thought it was like a lot kind of punchier, like the main hits kind of stuck out more, almost like they were gated or something. So let's try a soft-ish gate on there. I'm going to use the unfiltered audio distributed by Plugin Alliance, the gate. Let's see what this does for us. I'm actually going to high pass the detector circuit. Is there a way to hear the detector circuit on this? I don't think so. So let's do it like that. So it's hitting those biggest peaks, but let's only do the reduction down just a few dB. A little look ahead on it. Smooth it out a little bit. So here's without the gate. Here's with the gate. It just makes it a little punchier. It's pretty subtle. Alright, let's bring in the overheads. This floor tom mic, I'm actually going to manually gate this out real quick because I wasn't really liking this room. This mix does not need any additional ambience. I think it's a really tight, dry sound. So if you leave the bleed on, it will just make your track more ambient and roomy. So we're going to trim this right out, right on the audio file. Don't even need to worry about setting plugins and worrying about whether they're actually triggering correctly or not. Throw the fade on this one. Let's just hear that real quick. We can make this a little bit longer. And let's do the last one here. Definitely going to need the fade on these. You can even throw a little reverb on that just to make it super big. Hip hop is all about over the top, right? So let's throw the Exponential Audio R4. This is one of my favorite reverbs, and it goes on sale all the time for like somewhere between 10 and 30 bucks. So it's definitely a good deal if you can grab it for that price. Cool. I have no idea if that was like intended to be in the original record, but we'll find out. Doesn't really matter anyway. This is just a reference. Okay, so let's hear what the other mics are doing. There's a lot of like room kind of sound. Use these ambience mics very sparingly. That floor tom I think is going to need a different reverb too. Let's throw it on a chamber. Yeah, it's better. Let's throw a little compression and stuff on the kick to make everything a little punchier. We'll do the kick and the snare. Let's try the distressor. Some of that sub kick. Put some of that low end back in it. Let's throw a nice EQ on it. Maybe the let's try a plug-in alliance. Why not? SSL. 300, 200-ish. Still a little woofy. I'm going to try, prior to the compressor, throwing the smack attack on there and lowering the decay. Yeah, that's cool. Alright, and then let's EQ the snare a little bit too. We can do this one. Let's try API EQ. We can just do the waves API. A little more bass, a little more mid-range. More top end. And let's EQ that hi-hat just a little bit too. Let's even try the greenhouse on there. Take the modulation off. Let's start off with the heat saturator. It makes it a little bigger. I'm going to actually throw EQ on it as well. Let's use the something with some knobs. How about let's use some of the Arturia stuff. EQ Citral. Trying to get a little more bite, a little more mid-range. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Alright, let's throw the ozone on it and call it a day, because that's been pretty long for a quick mix. It's turning into a medium-like mix. Can't have that. Just kidding, it doesn't really matter. Alright, so there you have it. That's the quick mix of the Ludwig 6.5 by 14 inch super brass. And the reference was the Tame Impala Eventually song. So thanks for watching. This has been Cooper Anderson with Creating the Sound. We'll see you next time.